This channel is made possible by viewers like you. My viewers, subscribers, and patrons greatly help to keep this channel going. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for all of you. Please make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any uploads. And if you'd like to go the extra mile, please check out my Patreon page. For just $1 a month, you'll get access to what I'm working on, previews of upcoming content, and even early videos, along with other tier options for those that are interested. Thank you, and now on to the video. Wanted Dead is a really odd game. From the video game critics and media, this title is seen as awful. It seemed like universally they didn't like it, or in some cases they just chose to outright not cover it. Things get a bit more interesting when we look at the actual players. This is where we see more people mixed on it. We have those who do not like the game, or especially on PC, that have been waiting for fixes and still haven't seen them shown up yet. Then you have others that have embraced the game and genuinely really enjoy it. They recognize the flaws and the fun it provides. For me, I land somewhere in the middle. I had and still have a load of issues with it, but it's also a game that provided a lot of fun. It's hard to put a number on something like this. There's a lot of nuance when talking about Wanted Dead, but some of my viewers and subscribers told me about a code that you can put into the game to unlock an easy mode, so that piqued my interest. Maybe this helps to potentially fix some areas of the game by playing it in that mode, so I thought this was a good excuse to jump back in. Something that really caught my eye with Wanted Dead was that it had Dead or Alive and Ninja Gaiden developers. I really enjoyed both of these series, and especially miss action games like Ninja Gaiden. We used to see stuff like this everywhere, like the original God of Wars, Platinum Games variants, and thankfully today we still have Devil May Cry still around. But outside of a few titles, the industry has really moved towards more Souls-like action than these traditional action games. So Wanted Dead, in a way, was looking to scratch that itch, and honestly in some ways it really did that for me. These developers were looking to fill a hole and make something new that they were good at. I hope we get to see more traditional action titles come back, maybe even a sequel for this one that is a lot more refined as well. So let's start off with some of the basics. Wanted Dead features action that combines both swordplay and third-person shooting. The pairing sounds like a great idea. You have the sword for up-close encounters, guns for all the ranged enemies, and then the room to mix in a bit of both as the player finds their personal style. The action is satisfyingly violent. You can cut enemies in half along with many of their limbs. The guns also result in a lot of blood as well. It's over the top and good quality video game violence. Plus the screams from your enemies never gets old, and it's often comical. I really liked how you could switch between the shooting and swordplay at will, and many fights have you using both trying to survive. This is also one area that I think could have been a bit smoother, with the transition between both. The best way to describe it is that it just feels a bit off to quickly change from swordplay to gunplay. After playing the game more, I think going from shooting to then using your sword is much smoother than the other way around. Going from swordplay to shooting honestly feels clunky, almost like the game is holding you back a bit, and what feels like you should be able to move a lot faster. Like many areas in this game, it has cool ideas and it's even fun, but it's in need of more refinement. As you attack enemies, you will build up a super bar, and this will allow you to deal a lot of damage at once. This is great to use on some of the more spongy foes, or when you're surrounded. This usually results in being able to pull off takedowns, and these never get old to do. Injured enemies will be stunned for a bit, and give you room to pull off a takedown, and these finishers are really cool and have you using a variety of sword and stylish gun shots. For the shooting, you can pick up enemy weapons for more variety and even throw some grenades as well. It has context-sensitive cover that works well enough too. Your main asset for defense is blocking and parrying along with your evade. Get the parrying just right and you open up your opponent for an attack. Plus, if the enemy is going to hit you with a red attack, you can then stop them with a quick gunshot from your handgun. You don't aim with your handgun, it's more of an auto aim. Then there's some progression through new gun parts to toy around with, allowing you to personalize the stats of your guns along with a skill tree to upgrade.
Is there some other route we can take? Is there some other route we can take? Is there some other route we can take? Don't! Enemy troops!
So when you break down the action of the game, Wanted Dead is really fun, but it also has a lot of issues. The easy mode does seem to help some of these areas, especially with the enemies dishing out considerably less damage, but being that I had already played the game once on normal, I can see how this easy mode sadly doesn't fix the problems. For example, Wanted Dead has a major problem with balancing. There are these harder hitting enemies that can destroy you, and even on easy, they can lock you into a combo and leave you with little to no health, or even time to use one of your stim packs. That is the problem with these enemies. They dish out too much damage, are often hard to block and parry properly, and are very, very spongy. The ninjas and especially the big robot mech guys are the worst. This sort of stuff makes the game feel like it was never play tested, as it isn't just difficult, but it's rather unfair. Now for about the first 3 levels, which is about half the game, they are not used a lot until you get to the rooftops. It's after this point that the balancing and issues with these enemies only continues to get worse. As you fight more of them, and even worse, you have to fight in narrow pathways. This game was not built for small, narrow areas to fight in. It makes it impossible to have any situational awareness, and the fights in these locations are not fun at all. My point with this is that easy is not the fix. It lessens the blow of many of these issues a bit, but they are still present and will even annoy and frustrate those in this mode.
Hey, we were in the middle of something here.
I smell cat's piss for some reason. What could it be? Hi, Vivian.
I know. But can somebody hack or alter the data?
Nah, it's all analog. I mean, technically speaking, it would have taken a lot of effort.
John Doe, huh?
What I was not expecting was either the intentional or unintentional execution of its story and characters. The voice acting is on the level of being so bad it's good. It significantly adds to the entertainment value. Oftentimes I found myself laughing whenever I got to one of the cutscenes. The story is weird, odd, and always charmingly entertaining. I actually found myself enjoying these characters and their camaraderie. Then you add on the various mini games that you get to do, and this stuff only makes me want to like the game more. And this is where Wanted Dead just continues to leave me conflicted. When the game is flowing properly and less of those cheap enemies are present, it's a lot of fun. For most of chapters 1 and 2, I'm having a good time with it despite some of the issues. The problem is the issues only snowball and get worse and worse as you go. So no, the easy mode does not fix the game, but is Wanted Dead an underrated game? Maybe. Even though I have a lot of problems with it, I did have a bunch of fun playing this game. I stand by my original comments that it's an almost underrated game, and it's very frustrating as well. Now with the developers pretty much going silent, I have no idea if they are continuing to work on the issues. In the event that they provide some significant improvements and patches, I will probably return back to this game and see where it stands then. Have you played Wanted Dead? If so, what do you think about it? Let me know all of this in the comments down below. If you're interested in being notified of new videos, please hit the subscribe button and bell. And if you would like to support the channel and get early access to content, please check out my Patreon. All of the links will be at the end of this video and within the description. And thank you very much for watching.